Professor Shariat, thank you for accepting our interview request. You are not only one of the leader specialists in neurology, but your scientific achievements are also exceptional. How do you balance the work of a practicing physician and a researcher?
You know, I always thought about, these are actually two sides, but there's many sides to my job. I try to be a physician in the job. I try to be a scientist. I try to be an educator, and also try to be a leader that leads groups, you know, either in the operation room or in the scientific world, so these are multiple hats. And I always thought, how can one bring all those together? And that's your question. I think one feeds the other one, and they're all necessary to be good at what you do. I don't think you can be a good physician today without understanding science, without doing science at some time in your life, asking questions, critical questions, analyzing the literature, finding out what is the best thing. I mean, you have a patient with a certain condition that comes, you need to be able to go into literature, understand what is written there, and make your succinct decision what is the best data that supports the therapy you're going to do for that patient, or how you're going to counsel that patient and discuss with the patient. So that is very important, and you need to educate, because when you educate, you will learn so much from your students, but also you start being a better teacher, you start better understanding the science, simplifying. So I think all those roles together make you a complete human being and a better person and a better doctor. You cannot take him one outside of the other ones, specifically in this modern age. Yeah. And you will say, okay, how are we going to get there? Well, you need to train all those muscles. So you need to train both. None of them is talent. Whether leadership is a talent, whether scientific mindset is a talent, whether being a good doctor is a talent, you need to train all that. Train your empathy while you're training your critical thinking, while you're training, you know, the giving. All those are facets that you need to have to be a good doctor and serving the humanity.
And beside this way of thinking, you have also very wide experience living in different countries. You started studying in Switzerland, continued in Austria, and you also studied in the USA. Do you think that it is beneficial to gain experience in different cultural environments? Was it useful for you?
Yeah, look, there's many things with that. Number one, when you move, you learn, right? One thing you learn that humans are the same everywhere. They have the same problems, the same fears, the same diseases, the same. So that is the same anywhere. That's not going to change. But how you address it, the mindset, the cultures, the attitudes. And when you learn, you move, you're also in an uncomfortable environment because you always are a student where you come. And you need to learn the language there, you need to learn how the people behave together. So that discomfort allows you to grow a lot and become better at what you do and have these multiple facets in yourself. And on top of it, look, I think sometimes there's certain sides of you that you need to grow specifically because that is the side you need to become better at what you're doing, at helping the patients or serving the community or whatever. And for that, you need to move somewhere else to get that skill set or the mindset. So I think that is very important. Traveling, and not only traveling as a tourist, but also as a scientist, staying somewhere, having different mentors, having different people from, the diversity is extremely important. There's many ways that it opens your mind. Alone learning different languages opens your mind. And it's very important, I think, to being able to connect to your patients, understanding your patients, addressing their fears, and giving them hope when they need.
You are a very open-minded person, I think, because you started studying mathematics and chemistry, but you ended up as a medical doctor. What influenced you to choose medicine as a career? What was the...
Look, this is... nothing that happened in my life was really planned in that sense, but I was always open to adventure. So I always knew that I wanted to do something special with my life. Like most people want to do something special with their life, and helping others would make me happy. But I liked mathematics and physics, right? And I thought this is the highest art, mathematics. So I went for mathematics and chemistry and physics. And then I learned that I would not be satisfied. Now I was really good at it, right? I was getting top grades. I was in Switzerland in a top school. I entered immediately. And people didn't understand, why is he just leaving? Because I realized that will not give me the satisfaction. And the satisfaction I needed, for me, was to work with people, to help them. And why, you will say, didn't I start medicine? Because back in time, I thought doctors were not very sophisticated, smart. They were just repeating what they had learned for 30 years. And I thought, I don't want to do that. But that changed dramatically today.
It was the art of medicine.
It was an art. The art continues to stay. This is continues to stay. Certain art, you get to a meta level when you can become a super expert. But I think nowadays we have so many exciting new things, technologies that come, innovations, talking from AI, CRISPR-Cas9s, and a lot of things that are happening that are proposing out. And science and innovation is today driving medicine to the frontier where we can give the patients a lot of solution, be it in prevention, early detection and therapies. The people live longer, better, and we see it. But at the end, even that, the most important was working with humans. I loved working with humans, and being there and giving them hope and encouraging them and telling them, I don't know if it's going to go well, if they ask me seriously, but I will be with you. I will be there with you no matter what. And that, I thought, was what I was missing in mathematics and physics a little bit. That's why I went in medicine then.
Were there any influential teachers who had an impact on your choice?
Look, I think if you look, probably you, me, all our life, the teachers, be it at home, be it, people that are mentors, we call mentors, that are people in the family, in the cousins, people that influence you, you look up to, and you say, I want to be like that person, or that person give me something that empowered me, right? Believed in me and gave me, that specifically those formative years, right? You're in the puberty, you're adolescent, you're insecure, and you have those teachers or those mentors that influence you a lot and bring that out in you. So I think it was a accumulation of all that helped me, and the decision to go into medicine was probably naturally made, or was always along. It's just I didn't see it. But what was amazing was, in my opinion, looking back, I was able to stop what I was doing and reassess and restart and accept that the previous part was not a mistake, but was not what I wanted. And that is okay. And that may happen many times in your life. It's okay. That sometimes you change your directions or the roles or the things in life make you go in different positions, like you're doing, you're first a scientist, then you're a leader, then you're in a community, you're organizing, and you do management. So I think these are different phases, and you have to have the trust in yourself and to do that.
Coming to science, you have a very impressive list of publications, and many of those papers are performed in cooperation. Do you think a solitary or a collaborative research attitude is more successful nowadays? Which is the best?
Look, it's an excellent question. I believe strongly that together, in a very diverse environment, you're going to be the most successful. So I always feel, when I was young, I was watching this movie series, it was called Team A. I don't know if you know that. It's like all the one guy was doing this, all together, they were one full, perfect body to achieve what they wanted, right? It's a stupid movie, and I always feel that you need to work with that, because I don't have the skill sets in many things. I'm actually really bad at a lot of things, most things. But getting the people together, your peers, and also your bosses to believe in you and go along on your travel is, I think, the key to being successful. research today is like a multinational. It's global. You find your partners, not only in your country, but across the world, that work with you to help you achieve the goal and answer the question that matters to your patients. So you have to identify that question, then find other crazy people that believe in the same thing, have the same why you're doing it, has to chive, then make it valuable for them and go on this adventure with them. And only together you can apply for big grants. Only together with some people you can change policy. Only with a lot of groups of different persons you can move mountains. Alone you will not be successful.
I think it's a very good and important message, especially for young people. And now you are a guest of the National Academy of Scientist Education. You are participating in a conference with many young people. And do you think that supporting talented young people can really help them to have better chance in developing their talents, or it would be better to leave them to find their own way? Which is better?
You see, I think, first of all, I have a tremendous admiration and inspiration by what is done here to this program. This program is unique around the world. It's very special. It's not only going to improve Hungary, it's going to improve not only Central Europe, it's going to be a motor for progress, innovation, and a better world around the world. The impact of such a program cannot even be measured in metrics, because there's not one metric or the other metric you're going to measure. So what is the most rewarding thing we do when we do everything we do? I don't do it for awards, we shouldn't do it for money. It's about the next generation, giving them what they need, empowering them to fulfill their destinies and making that possible, being mentors to them. And by the way, often they're mentors to us. Right? We learn from them almost more than they learn from us.
Yeah, it's an interaction.
It's an interaction, and it's so enriching. It makes us better. It makes them better. And this program you have here is unique. Is so valuable, and I'm really inspired by it. And I think the impact you will have will be measured over many generations, because all those that learn that will give to others.
And it is a problem, I think it's a worldwide problem, that the interest for natural sciences is decreasing. What do you think, what could be the best way to increase the interest of young people towards biomedical sciences?
So I think, there's cycles, right? And these cycles will eventually balance out. So currently we have a down cycle where evidence and research and maybe honesty or whatever you want, and science is not a very attractive field. Other things are more attractive to the people, fast, getting a lot of money, and other things have replaced, always has happened. The problem is that creates an incredible emptiness in a society, not emptiness only for progress, because science and biomedical sciences are essential for your competitiveness of the society, for your well-being, for the progress and so on. So it's a necessity. Number two, the people need it, right? You need to have a better healthcare system, you need to have a better understanding of diseases, you need to have a better understanding of the nature, how to preserve it, how to keep it well for the next generation. So it's all an investment that's worth it. Programs like you have here are the best step, because it's a step in investing in the next generation. Loving them, empowering them, showing them how valuable it is, connecting them with other people that think alike, and showing them role models that they could aspire to, or they have something in common, they find themselves, they reflect themselves. That's, I think, the best way of doing it. And when they have questions, try to answer them.
And I have the impression that you were one of the most popular lecturers at this conference. It was almost impossible to ask for you to come to this interview. What were your impressions from the students who are present at this conference? I'm so inspired. I'm not just saying that, but that the eyes
of the people, their energy, you can feel it in the room, right? This program has really made something, a spark grow, and it's like a virus that the people got to do something special. And when the people come around, and all those that have asked questions, the eyes were incredibly flinging, and I was looking at them and said, wow, it's impressive. So I really feel that this is a tremendous success, what is already happening here. It's a tremendous success, and I want to congratulate you for making this possible and investing in it. I want to also congratulate the politicians and the administrators in believing in it and letting you doing it, because that's going to create so much goodness for the region. It's not at all imaginable, tangible. You don't know who in this room will be the next person who's going to make that changing invention, discovery, that changing health policy, that changing, but not only big things. How many of them will go and eventually, through what they've learned through this program, will be better doctors, better nutritionists, better whatever they do, and helping that individual, that single individual, and make a better, a better world, and share that love. And so I think that is unmeasurable.
Yeah, I think these are very enthusiastic young people.
Incredible.
But it is not easy to study, to prepare for exams, to work in the lab at the same times. It is a very difficult task. What advice would you give to those who feel overwhelmed by the tasks ahead?
So I think life is always, specific in that age group, it can seem overwhelming, right? There's a lot of questions that come to you. You're in a certain age, you say, who do I want to be? How can I achieve that? How can I make those challenges? How can I give it's just a lot of questions. And at the same time, there's injustice in the world and suffering, and it all comes together. And I think the one thing is really listening to yourself, and deep inside, not getting distracted by the noise, and listening to inner self, what do you want to do with your life, going after your dreams, and finding the best way of achieving that. And it's important to also keep open to messages that come outside, but being very focused on what you want to achieve and moving forward in that goal of fulfilling your destiny, right? A little bit. I don't believe the destiny is written, you shape it, right? So it's natural to be vulnerable. It's natural to be insecure. It's natural to make mistakes. That's okay.
Thank you. Thank you for this
Thank
interview,
you.
Professor Shariat. Thank you for coming to Szeged. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Lecture. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. Thank you.